Kia ora and good morning, Morena. Welcome to another episode of Cass Yaps. Today, we are going to be talking about how me and Nick share the mental load. And I'm going to introduce you to the best concept ever that's ever happened to us ever. And it is called the Sunday meeting. So, this is our Sunday meeting book. We do this every Sunday. It's like a little ritual. We started at the end of last year, but we weren't as strict with it. But now we're all in. So, the Sunday meeting is exactly what it sounds like. It's a meeting that we have on Sunday. And we've turned it into a bit of a date night. We try to get Nug down to sleep as early as possible. Then we have dinner by ourselves. Usually we have dinner with Nug. So we plan like a little nice dinner, really easy, super simple dinner. And then we sit down and we have a check-in. We like go low light of the week just to see where somebody's at and like what they're struggling with and what was really cool. This is like a really cool way to connect. We find Nick the other week, I was like, what's your highlight and low light of the week? And he was like, my highlight is watching you make all of these mum friends. You're so happy and it's so cool to watch. And I was like, and my highlight was making all my mum friends. Just like it's been such a cool feeling, really finding my community in our new suburb. And like that was really cool. It was special that that was like the highlight of Nick's week was watching me make mum friends. And we find out all these different things about each other when we do this. It's like a cool way to connect. And it's a cool way to start it off on a really positive note. And then also when we talk about low light, what they've been struggling with already usually, but for them to really open up and have a space to talk about it. Nick's had heaps of issues with his teeth and he's really struggling. He's struggling with pain, he's struggling with concentration, lots of things. So for him to have that space to be like, I'm really struggling with my teeth. And I'm like, yeah, you're doing a fucking big shift. And he was like, yeah, like I'm just trying to be positive. And, we're just talking about it. So it's a real cool space to connect and start the meeting off on a really positive note. And then we go on to all the different areas of our life. So each area we talk about separately. So we start off, I've got like a page, I'll cover the boys' names. I've got like a page of topics: home, food, relationship, finances, Nugget Creative, our business, both boys. So we have a blended family. I don't really talk about this online just because the effort of making sure that little man stays private, just respecting his mother's wishes. But for this, it's okay. So we have a blended family, a son that Nick prepared earlier. So we love him and we have to make sure that we're showing up for him, and the time that we spend with him is super intentional and we're managing the boys' relationship well. And I think this is a really cool time to talk about it because having a blended family is fucking hard when it's not your biological child, but you're wanting to treat them the same as the biological child. And it is Nick's biological child, so he has a completely different relationship with him. And also, like, we only have him for a certain amount of time, so we want that time to be used really well. It's the whole thing. And it's so hard with parenting because it's so often you want to correct your partner with parenting in the moment. And that's just like not good. Me and Nick always want to be on the same team. So we find the Sunday meetings really good because so anytime that I want to talk about something, I just bring it up at the Sunday meeting and Nick doesn't feel like I'm attacking him. He doesn't feel undermined or anything. It's not in front of the boys. The boys always see us as a team. And just every week we try to be better and better parents. So we talk about them separately. So because obviously the boys need different stuff from us. But so we start the meeting. You always start with home and we talk about the domestic labor of home, laundry, how the house is feeling. We talk about furniture that we like or dislike. Our biggest thing recently in the Sunday meeting has been that we really fucking hate our bar stools at our kitchen bench because they're too tall and you crouch and it just makes us like gobble our food because it's so uncomfortable. And one of them's broken, so we don't even have enough. And me and Nick are like, we need to buy new bar stools. We want them to be nice. And so we talk about that. And so we know that when money comes in and we've got money in the house spending account, the thing that we're buying is bar stools. That's it. And then we have a list of other things we want to buy to improve the feeling of the home. If there's anything that's not working or if one of us is being messy, that's the time you bring it up. Or like, especially with me being, almost 8 months pregnant now, Nick has just been doing way more of the laundry. He just gets the laundry started and it's so helpful. And so that's the time that I'd be like, I notice that you're doing the laundry way more. I really appreciate it. I am kind of struggling just to get motivation to get all the jobs done. And he was like, that's all good. I'm happy to jump in. And it's one of those things that it's cool because usually the home stuff starts with Nick just like singing my praises. He's usually just like, oh, the house is just run like a well-oiled machine, Cass. I don't know how you do it. And it's like, so that's kind of cool. But it's also a time for me to like notice and praise Nick if he's been doing more stuff around the house than he usually does because I've been struggling. So it's a real cool way of like noticing what your partner's doing and being on top of it. Then we talk about food, like we're really into our diet and making sure that our food is working for us and we're not working for it. And it's making us feel good and giving us energy. So we talk about stuff like last time we talked about how Nick doesn't want kombucha or bacon, which is huge, okay? Nick has lived on kombucha and bacon for like the entire time we've been together. So for him to be like, I don't really think we need to buy bacon in the shop anymore, I was like, okay, crazy, so excited for you. So that's it. Bacon's been taken off the grocery shop, and same with kombucha because we got a Soda Stream and that's been like replacing it. It's been amazing. So many things like this is so cool to like make sure that everything's fresh and we're doing things intentionally. It's so easy, especially when we've got different jobs. Like I just do the groceries and I just buy stuff. It's cool for Nick to actually have input on what we're buying and what we're eating because I don't care. Like I'm like, yeah, cool, give me new ideas. Like I'm all for it. We talk about dinners we want to try. We talk about Nick cooking dinner a bit more now that I'm getting more pregnant, and I'm going to be postpartum soon, so Nick's going to have to take over a bit more of the cooking. So what foods he wants in the house, what he wants to be cooking, all that kind of stuff. It's really great. We talk about relationship, and in relationship we talk about sex. Like I know that this is like some people don't talk about their sex life with their partner. Me and Nick talk about it often, really often, because it's super important to us. We find it so much easier to parent when we are connected and we're having intimacy and moments and stuff like that. So we talk about how's it going? Are we having enough sex? Are you happy with it? Am I happy with it? Especially with me being more and more pregnant. Things are getting, we have to be creative. All right. I'm getting bigger. And it's just like a whole thing with a baby and managing that in the business and everything. So we just talk about times that we can have more connection. We even the other day when we were talking about our relationship is that we were going to start trying to have lunchtime naps, lunchtime nap dates. So when Nug goes down for his lunchtime nap, because it's like 2 hours at the moment, we actually stop. Nick stops working, and we hang out. We like have lunch together, or we watched. The other day we just watched so much of our TV show. What were we watching? I can't remember, but we had this TV show we were binging and we loved it. And we just stopped in the middle of the day, cuddled up on the couch and watched our TV show for like 2 hours. And it was so fucking nice. It was so cool. And it made parenting way easier for the rest of the day because we were like, we had so much fun. Anyways, so the Sunday meeting is massive. It's so good. It gets us on the same page with everything. And I always find like we'll finish the Sunday meeting and then we'll just chat. We'll just chit chat away. We won't really want to be on our phones because we'll like be deep in conversation. It's such a cool way to connect. And I've found that we bicker less and less throughout the week because we know that we're going to have the Sunday meeting to talk about things. Like even the other day, it was like a Saturday. And Saturdays, I think lots of stay-at-home mums can understand this, but Saturdays can be quite hard. All of a sudden, dad's there and you're having to consider dad and all that kind of stuff. And you're so used to doing everything by yourself. So with dad being there, it can be like a lot. And we decided we were going to go to the beach. And Nick is the kind of person, when he decides he wants to go somewhere, he's like out the door. He's done. Like he needs to pee, grab a couple things, off he goes. And he will just start picking up random stuff of nuggets and putting it in the car. He won't communicate everything. And I can just feel him just being like, I want to be out. I want to be gone. Whereas I'm the mum. I know what we need to pack in the bag. I know what snacks we need, water bottles, what snacks he's into. I know when he last ate, all this kind of stuff. I know what clothes to grab, and I want it all together. I want everything organized, and I kind of just want to pack everything, or I want to know what's going into the fucking car. And so I brought up in the Sunday meeting under home. I was like, look, when we are going to go out on the weekend, you need to relax. Like, I was like, I can't handle us coming up with this plan of us leaving the house and all of a sudden you're gone. Please, can we just slow it down? And he was like, yep. And the best thing about the Sunday meeting is like, sorry, the Sunday meeting, like you need to come to the Sunday meeting with solutions. So I was like, let's say from now on, whenever we decide to leave the house, you have to allow 20 minutes. Our ETL, our estimated time of leaving, is 20 minutes after the conversation of us deciding that we're going to leave. So if we have that conversation at 9, we're not leaving till 9:20. So I don't care how quick you pack stuff into the car, we're not going. So I'm not going to feel rushed and I'm not going to forget things. And I'm also not going to be stressed because I grew up with an angry dad who like was so similar to Nick in the way that he just wanted to do what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. So when Nick starts like fucking quickly packing the car, I get stressed PTSD. I'm like, oh my God. And I forget things. And then it's usually my snacks that I forget, which is obviously the worst. So he was like, yeah, no, that's completely fair enough. Let's do that together. And I was like, and also, as we're getting out of the house, can we start doing a little bit of a verbal checklist of all the things so that you also can understand all the things that are thought of to leave the house so that you can get better at grabbing and packing the bags yourself. Because like Nick is really, it's not like he's useless. He can pack a really good bag, pack a good lunch and stuff. But there are some things that he does miss. You need to double check that the sunblock isn't in the pram, that it's in the back. Like just little things like that. As the mum, when you're doing it every single day, it's just normal. But the dad that's working full time, they don't always go through that checklist. So I was like, let's do a verbal checklist right before we leave the house as well. So you can kind of start really getting on board with what needs to be taken. He's like, perfect. Right. Amazing. And then, so that was something I was so ready to start a fight with him when he did it. But then I thought, I'm just going to bring this up tomorrow. I'm going to talk about this at the Sunday meeting. This doesn't need to ruin our outing right now because it's really not that big of a deal. I've just left the house feeling a little bit frazzled, but we can talk about it tomorrow. And we did, and it was great, and no fighting. So like little things like that will happen. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm going to talk about that in the Sunday meeting. I probably need to get good at writing it down on my phone, but I usually remember like everything that needs to be spoken about in the Sunday meeting. And yeah, it just stops us from bickering during the time. Another thing that Nick brought up the other day in our Sunday meeting is he was like, when me and Nug are out playing on the lawn, can you come play with us? Can you? And I was like, yes, of course. He was like, I know that you like watching us. And he was like, and to be fair, I like when you watch, like I like showing off and stuff. So it's nice when you watch. But sometimes it'd be so cool if you just came out on the lawn and played with us. I think it'd be a really cool memory for Nug to have both of his parents just out on the lawn being silly with him. And I was like, of course, no, 100%. I always leave them to play because I feel like I've had Nug all day. And I want Nick to be able to have that time with him. But I also can understand how special it would be for both of them for me to be out on the lawn playing as much as you can play with your big belly. But Nick's more meaning like be involved in our silly little lawn games. And I was like, no, that's quite cute. I would love that. And so now I'm like consciously watching them. If they're playing a game, I'm like, oh, I might go out for a little bit. And it's fine. It's one of those things that if Nick had said it in the moment, if he was like, why don't you come play? I would have instantly felt like attacked in the moment. Like I would have been like, yeah, well, Nick, I've got things to do. I'm a mum, all right? I'm cleaning the house. I'm sorting dinner. Like, what, do you think I don't play with him enough? All of a sudden, I would have felt so defensive about him bringing up me playing with them that it wouldn't have been received well. And I think that's the best thing about the Sunday meeting because guards down, the other person isn't attacking you. They're just trying to make the whole flow of our house better. And it's amazing. So yeah, that is like my biggest advice to any couples that are like wanting to improve just overall happiness. Because honestly, me and Nick, ever since we started doing the Sunday meetings, we're raving about them. They're great for our business. They're great for knowing what's happening in the week. We go over schedule at the end of the week. At the end of the meeting, we always go over the schedule for the week. What's being done, what's happening in the business, what's happening with me and Nug, how are we integrating? Does Nick want to be taking Nug to play center at all? What day does he want to be taking? Like, all of the stuff of like those last final things with the schedule, how is that working? Like, and also we talk about like how are we looking after ourselves? Because I said, like, our big goal for last week, I was like, I just really want to meditate every morning. I'm finding pregnancy getting overstimulating. I'm finding it quite hard to like think. My baby brain is out the fucking gate at the moment. And so I was like, can I meditate every day just so I can get my brain in a bit better? He's like, yeah, perfect. So we've just made space for that. So yeah, I've babbled a little bit, but that's just what I do, obviously. The Sunday meeting, live by it. Please give it a go. And if you do give it a go, let me know how you guys do it. And if you have any tips or tricks, because like we've just started it. So the Sunday meeting might change. We might change the format or we might add a couple things in. But yeah, if you guys do the Sunday meeting, please tell me about it. I can't wait to hear about it.